What's up, my little TisaTellss? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Pete Davidson, I don't know how to feel about this, but baby, you are regretting everything that came to pass with Kim Kardashian. Now, listen, a lot of people, myself included, have been saying that Kim is entering her flop era. Now, will she stay in her flop era? Who knows? But Kim has most certainly entered her flop era. What proof do we have? Well, look at her Instagram feed. Look at how she's all over the place. She'll know whether she want to be a big booty or a serious lawyer. She doesn't know what lane she wants to go in. She's hanging out with Kylie, Kendall, making pics, doing this, doing that, posting love memes. She has been all over the place because for whatever reason, before when she used to go in and all cameras were on her, it's not there anymore. Now, why is this important? Because one of the things, the only thing that Kim actually gives is clout, is hype. She gives a platform. If her platform is no longer the go-to platform, right? If a new generations of the Instagram girlies are coming out, Kim literally finds herself in a hard place. What does this have to do with Pete? Pete actually came out and said that he thinks that he regrets dating Kim because it was a bad look for his career. Pete Davidson, the man that looks like he still smells like stale Fritos, Doritos under the couch, and old earwax, is saying that Kim was a bad look for him. We also know, if you don't know, Kanye West did win with Adidas in the end. They were forced to grovel and be humbled. But why is this important? And why does this point to Kim? Because as you know, Kanye and Kim are 100% connected. Now that he's with Bianca, he has severed that connection. Prior to Adidas groveling with Kanye, one way that they thought that they could like X him out was to take his wife, ex-wife, Kim, and make her not the face of Adidas, but well, the Kardashians, they have 400 million followers, maybe 1 billion combined on Instagram. If they're wearing Instagram, if they're wearing Adidas, if they're putting in the stories of it, of course we're gonna be popping. Until we saw what everybody that was involved with KK Cosmetics knew, just because you got $380 million 380 million followers does not mean even one is going to go to the Adidas shop and see what you have going. And even though Kim can put as Skims her crown and glory, Emma Gard was the one that did Skims. She worked with marketing, but not only that, Kanye did the colorways, did the design, did the marketing, did everything. That's why Skims so popular. In any case, let's get into this, right? Because this is a slap in the face. Pete Davidson regretting Kim Kardashian romance's relationship with girlfriend Chase Sue heats up. Right now, if we know, Chase Sue definitely looks like Pete's speed. Again, she's a very beautiful girl, but she's super, super low maintenance. She's super, super low profile. I'm sure she got a little body on her. She got a cute face. I'm sure she wanted to dip and do it, and she could come out stunning. But, and again, she's beautiful, but you know what I'm saying? She can come out always did up, always on some Kardashian tip, but she doesn't feel the need to do that. And that's Pete. Pete wants all the glitz and glamour from being famous. He even wants to be in a high profile relationship. He's not dating the girl from Rite Aid, but he doesn't want those entrapments that the Kardashians have that at this point are starting to make them look a little bit more aged, a little bit more. Let's be real. How do I say it? The dirtbag aesthetic, and I'm not saying the dirtbag aesthetic, that 2000 sleaze aesthetic is coming back. That is not Kim, Kylie, or Khloe's aesthetic. Do you know who is hitting that aesthetic off? Kourtney. Do you know who will flow seamlessly into that aesthetic? Kendall, because Kendall's a model. They pay to be shape-shifting chameleons. But Kourtney is leaning into that early 2000s sleazy aesthetic that I'm telling you, in the next 3-4 years, it's going to be all over the place. Kim didn't do that. That's not Kim's aesthetic. She doesn't like it. It definitely isn't Khloe's aesthetic, because you don't want to see Khloe made down. Seriously. But then again, there's a filter for everything. And Kylie follows after Kim. But, you know, when I was reading this, you know, let me get to the article and then I'm going to tell you what I think, right? They say Pete Davidson is looking back on his fizzled romance with Kim Kardashian now that he's happy in a relationship with his co-star turned girlfriend, Chase Sue Wonders. Again, Chase and Pete have had a little flirtation for the longest. Kim wasn't worried about it because in Kim's world, girls like Chase don't rank. Chase got a real body, right? Is doing something, but it ain't doing that Jessica Rabbit thing. Chase got an original face. Chase got all these things. She's low key. She's fine going to Indy 500. In her world, girls like Chase don't rank. In her world, girls like Chase don't even, they pale. Again, but that's the thing where Kim messed up. You weren't dating somebody from your world. You were dating Pete Davidson. Now they're saying that an insider's claiming that Pete has been confiding in friends that even though he once liked Kim, she doesn't hold a candle or stack up to his other famous former flames, including Kate Beckinsale, Kaya Gerber, Ariana Grande, and Margaret Qualley. He said Kim doesn't rank and she doesn't hold a candle to anyone. They said the more he reflects on what he went through with Kim, the more Pete wants to pinch himself and asks what the hell he was thinking. His swagger was gone and he's seriously worried he become a long-term victim of the Kardashian curse. He literally said that Kim sucked him into her whirlpool of boringness and he was about to fall victim. Let me just actually say this, right? This is another reason why I think the seasons Keeping Up with the Kardashians are doing so bad. When you look at Kim's life, when you see the fact you got a fave on Instagram and you follow them and you're doing this and you're doing that, and then you hear them speak or they do a YouTube video or they do TikToks and you realize, yeah, you got a private jet. Yeah, you got this, but your life is actually really, really boring. Things that I would want to be like, oh my God, that'd be so cool. When I see it on you, I'm like, ew, not like that. This is boring. There's no joy. I don't know what's going on with Kim. Maybe because she's in a divorce. Was in a divorce, but even then she was with Pete at that time and she said she was so in love. Kim makes having money look boring. There is no joy. There is no life. Nobody is having fun and balling out. It's just very like, and her looking into the camera like this and it's just very boring. And I feel like Pete is saying that he was afraid that was going to bounce off on him. Anyway, right? They said Pete has been all smiles while engaging in a nonstop PDA with Chase, and it seems a strong connection has blossomed between them after playing love interest in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. She also had a small role in Pete's thing, The King of Staten Island. Now, if you guys don't know, The King of Staten Island is Pete's show, and even though I dragged that Dorito aficionado, that Frito Cornell King, I think his show's going to be really good. Not because Pete, listen, I don't think Pete is funny. I just don't. His humor, I just don't find him funny. However, he might actually be a really, really good actor. But even with The King of Staten Island, he is Joe Pesci, Edie Falco. He has so many big name people involved in his project, The King of Staten Island. I don't see how it's going to do bad. Like the writing, everything is on point. I will say this though. One of the reasons why Kim attached himself to Pete is I think she was gearing and hoping she could get some type of role in The King of Staten Island or make that branch into Kim's empire being her having to post on Instagram. I think that also might be why Kim is a little bit like really upset, because at the end of the day, everybody else, even Chloe has found a way that they don't have to post on Instagram every single day in order to make their money. It's exhausting. It's this, it's that. Kim's the only one that hasn't done that. Seriously, what can Kim do if she doesn't post on Instagram? She even needs to post for Skims. What can she do? Coupled with the fact that Kim wants to be that girl. Kim wants to be that baddest in the room. Kanye hyped her up so much. She literally did wrap a lot of her ego out of being one of the most beautiful women, if not this is according to Kanye, the most beautiful woman in the world. And Kim has not been able to move past that. Now listen, where are we at, right? Since Chase and Pete have been together, they've been more open about their feelings for each other while out and about in January. They were holding hands, this, that, and the third. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I say all that to say, I was just reading to the article. Y'all know I love delivering news real time. I say all that to say the fact that Pete, who at the end of the day, y'all can be like, oh, he was somebody on Saturday Night Live. I'm not saying he wasn't anyone, but at the end of the day, Kim does have 380 million Instagram followers. The fact that Kim's market is also overseas, one post on Kim's page introduced people to Pete Davidson to people that didn't know who he was, gave him a second look, and it also boosted his fame. And when you are an actor, you want a lot of people to know you and be interested in you on a worldwide scale, because when they are interested in you, they'll go to see your next project. Again, this fame definitely hyped him up. But the fact that Kim gave him that much access to fame, not fame, but notoriety, and he needed it, and he took it, and he did what he needed to do. Kim is an old school gold digger. He is not just a gigolo. He is like the Count of Montesoro, right? Calling on the good widow, Kardashian. You know, he is like one of those Lotharios where he's trying to marry the old widow and take all her bag. But I say all this to say, it really is another thing that Kim's star is dwindling, that Pete is now saying that, yeah, I got a little notoriety. Yeah, I got this. But being associated to your name in any way, shape, or form hurt me more than it helped. Let's not forget that Pete is super, super cool with Lorne Michaels. Lorne Michaels got a show. Again, Kim did, but now he's saying it wasn't worth it. And the extra smack in the face saying Kim was more boring and didn't hold a candle to anyone he dated. He said what he liked her. Out of everyone he dated, he liked her the least. Is this a surprise? No, because you got to listen to people. Pete's whole humor is about making fun of people that live their lives like Kim, that prioritize like Kim. Whether you agree with Kim's lifestyle or not, Pete's whole stick is making fun of it. So the fact that this man, that any other moment would be dragging you, he has this weird love-hate idol relationship with your husband Kanye, right? He idolizes Kanye and has a grudge, and he's laying up in your bed, getting your kids lost in Walmart, and Google the article, and playing daddy to your kids, only to break up with you less than a month or two after you introduced them to the most important people in your life. Pete was trash for that. But Kim was also stupid for literally using the kids as a thing. But you know, we're not going to relitigate this. I just do want to say this. Adidas found out that Kim's clout doesn't spread. Pete is now saying Kim's clout isn't worth the effort, right? And that she's boring and he liked her least out of everyone he dated, right? Did you know Kim's ego is hurt? That crunchy Dorito loving sock flavored Pete Davidson said that you weren't good enough for him. But anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm not surprised by these comments. I am surprised that they went on record to say this. But again, if I was Kim, I would be very, very worried. Now, there is an option that she can just take her money, invest it quietly, and just live a beautiful life behind the scenes. But we all know Kim's ego isn't going to be allowed for that. And baby, as long as it doesn't, ooh, she's always going to be in the same situation. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.